welcome back to Aries Cupcakes with episode number 4 from my sweet potato dessert series. So today we are going to be making sweet potato pie, one of my favorites, one of the favorite things that I make that people are a fan of because I make very delicious sweet potato pie. All right, so I'm going to show you guys how I make my sweet potato pie. You guys can follow along with this recipe if you so choose. Be sure to let me know in the comments how it turns out for you. And yes, enjoy. All right, so I've got all of my ingredients here. I did forget one important ingredient. It's still going to be delicious, but you can add it, so make sure that you do. But I don't have it here, and I did not have time to go back to the store to get it, but a fresh lemon. All right, so when I'm going through all of these, make sure you remember to grab a fresh lemon because you're going to want to squeeze that into your custard when you make it for you to taste before you add your eggs, okay? So I have here 3 sweet potatoes that have been baked, and I'm going to peel those and get them ready to be mixed up. We've got some pie shells here. There's 2 in here. I'm probably just going to use 1 because we're only going to make 1 pie today. Some vanilla extract. I use imitation vanilla, but you can use real vanilla if you choose to. Ground allspice. So this has your nutmeg, all of your good spices that you need for that good fall flavor and everything that we're making. Some ground cinnamon here, 3 eggs, some heavy whipping cream, granulated sugar, so regular sugar. We're only going to use a little bit of flour, so not a whole lot, so we're not making a cake, but we will put a couple of spoonfuls of flour into the batter. Brown sugar, so you can use light or dark. I use light because I like the color of my pies to stay light and consistent with that. And then also some melted butter. So 1 stick of melted butter will also go into our pies. All right, so we are going to go ahead and get started with baking. I'm going to show you how to do everything. We're going to start with par baking our shell, and then we're going to move on to the batter. Okay. All right, so before we get started with baking our pies, okay, we want to par bake our crust. All right, so the crust is thawed out. I always get it pre-panned, pre-rolled out, but you can also, roll it out yourself and put it in a pie pan if you have it. But I usually just get them already in the pans, usually 2 in a pack in case you want to make a couple of pies. But we're going to par bake this. So what that means is basically we're going to pre-bake it for a few minutes so that we can make sure that it is nice and firm before we put our batter in. But one thing that's really important is you want to make sure that you are not burning the edges of the crust. So what we're going to do is we're going to wrap the edges of the crust so that they don't burn, okay? But we're just going to leave it in the oven for about 5 minutes. I'm going to show you how I wrap it, okay? So you basically just take some small pieces of foil. I don't know about you guys, but I grew up in a household where it's like you don't waste no foil now, okay? So we're just going to take little slithers at a time because that's literally all we need in order to do this. This isn't a big shell, so we don't really need a whole lot. All right, so I'm just going to wrap the foil around the base of the pan and then tuck it in to the crust. Okay, just like that. All right, and we're going to do that all the way around the pie crust. You also don't want to get the foil too deep into the pan because once you put your batter inside, you don't want to lift it up with the foil because we're going to keep the foil on while we bake the pie. So don't let it sit too deep into the shell. So that's how you do that. Make sure all the edges are covered. And then this is going to go in the oven for 5 minutes. All right, so now we're moving on to prepping our sweet potatoes. So I have peeled 3 sweet potatoes. Now listen, they're not always going to be pretty, and that's okay. You want to make sure when you buy them, though, that you're buying the best looking sweet potatoes that you can find, or if you have a sack of potatoes that you're picking out the best that are in the sack. But they don't have to be that pretty to start because trust and believe, our batter is going to be beautiful Once we get it all mixed up, you want to make sure that there's no strings in it, things like that. So we want to make sure everything is well mixed. So before we start adding all of our wet ingredients to the batter, we first want to make sure that we mix up the sweet potatoes alone by themselves first. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these up and put them into my mixer. Alright, so once you have those mixed up pretty well, then it's going to be time for us to start adding our other ingredients. We're going to add everything in here except for the eggs, okay? Because we want to be able to taste test our mixture before we add the eggs. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and melt my butter, add my vanilla, my half and half, all the things right now. Our bake is done, so we are ready to load our shell. I'm setting some aside for our cheesecake. So this will be for tomorrow's episode. So I'm going to set that aside. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and fill our pie shell with the batter. All right, so just pour it all in. Alright, so once it's all poured in, we're just going to smooth it out around the shell. You want to be sure not to overfill it because then it won't bake right. So it's looking good, it's looking smooth. Alright, so this is going to then go into the oven for about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour. It needs to bake. When it starts to rise, that's when it is done. Okay, so that's how we'll know this is ready to come out of the oven, but usually it takes about an hour. So we're going to go ahead and add it to the oven. All right, guys. Thank you so much. We did it. Sweet potato pie. My absolute favorite to make. I make it every single year. My grandmother used to make the best sweet potato pie, and then my aunt kind of took over the responsibility of making the sweet potato pie. She has passed the recipe along to me, and I just love it. It's so good, and we're about to dig into it and eat it now and see how it's tasting, all right? You know, sometimes you make good pies, sometimes others are better than, the next. But we're going to see how this one turned out, okay? So I'm just going to cut a small piece, as my other grandma likes to say, slice it thin, okay? We're going to slice it thin. So I'm sure she's seeing this video and heard me say that. She's going to get me. All right, so slicing it. Just a small slice. All right, and we're just going to pick it up and take a bite. Pick it up. There we go. Ooh, looks delicious. With that. Yummy. All right. Let's eat. You better quit playing with me. Y'all better quit playing with me. That's some good damn pie. Okay. Yeah. Anyways, try this recipe out. Let me know how it works out for you. Okay. And yeah, all the things. Y'all know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, all the things. And thank you for tuning in. And I will see you guys for tomorrow's finale episode, where we will be making sweet potato cheesecake. See you then. Bye.